Hello, good morning friends. Welcome back to your favorite channel Code One Digest. Today in this tutorial, I am going to cover the installation and project setup in Nestjs. What is Nestjs framework? We'll learn what is Nestjs framework, why do we use it, how to use it. I'll show you step by step how can you install it in your local and how to do a project setup. And I'll show you the Hello World program that you can run easily, right? In easy steps. Nest.js is one of the important JavaScript framework built on top of TypeScript and using the Express framework for HTTP web-based applications. Right, friends? So if you want to learn JavaScript, if you want to create enterprise application using JavaScript, then Nest.js is a framework that you should use. You can think like this. Java is a programming language, right? But how many developers write the application in pure Java, right? We use some other framework, right? Like Spring Boot. So we create our most of our application using Spring Boot, right? We create our web application or microservices using a Spring Boot framework that is running on top of Java. Nest is similar to that. JavaScript is a programming language, but Nest is a framework that gives you a lot of other capabilities that you need not to worry. Okay, you need not to worry about a cross-cutting concern like logging, security, and other aspects, right? So all of that are part of Nest framework. It is all part of their libraries, right? It is available and it's well organized. So we'll learn in this tutorial how to use Nest.js to create our enterprise applications. Okay, friends?
We have an agenda here, Daniel. It's really very simple.
Okay, friends. So here is the agenda of this tutorial today. I'll give you the introduction of Nest.js. What is Nest.js? What all capabilities it has? Then what is the prerequisite before starting with this tutorial? Then I'll show you the installation process. How can you install Nest.js in easy steps? Then how to do a project setup, right? Then I'll explain you the project structure, what all files we have, what all important modules we have in Nest.js, right? And then at the end, I'll build and run the project for you. Okay. Okay, friends. So let's start with the Nest.js introduction. What is Nest.js framework? Nest.js is a framework for building efficient, scalable Node.js server-side applications. We use Nest.js to build server-side applications, right? Nest provide out-of-the-box application architecture which allows developer to create highly testable, scalable, loosely coupled, and easily maintainable applications. As I said, right? This provide you application architecture and provide you lot of out-of-the-box libraries and functionalities. You need not to worry about the cross-cutting concerns, right? Logging module, like security module, ORM module, and so on, right? So it gives you all these features out of the box. We just have to use the library and start using it, right, friends? NAS actually is built on top of TypeScript. You will see all the syntax and semantics is based out of TypeScript. The way you define variable, the way you define classes, the way you define the functions, everything is TypeScript. It is written in TypeScript, I would say. Nest combines the element of object-oriented programming, functional programming, and functional reactive programming. You would know the object-oriented programming concept like classes, inheritance, interfaces, and overriding, overloading, polymorphism, and so on, right? So all these concepts are available in Nest.js. We can use the classes, we can do inheritance, we can use interface, we can create object of the classes, right? These are all available as a part of TypeScript. It also supports functional programming where we write a lot of functions and we call one function in other function to get the job done. What is functional reactive programming? Right? These days, this terms is very, very trending. So you would have heard about asynchronous application, asynchronous microservices, asynchronous communication, and so on, right? So as we know, like Node.js work in asynchronous way, right? In reactive way. All those capabilities are also there. If you want to leverage, if you want to create your application using asynchronous or reactive programming, so it's all there out of the box. You don't have to install any external module or package to work with it. Right, friends? Then Nest make use of robust HTTP server framework like Express. As I said, we use Express in Node.js to get the HTTP or web application capabilities, right? Nest is built on top of Express framework. It has enhanced the Express framework. right? So under the hood, it is using Express, but it has extended many more features, added many more features to it. It also uses Fastify, another HTTP server framework, right? So if you want to use Express, it is there by default. But if you want to use Fastify, you can call it out. You can use Fastify as well, right? So it is like that. JavaScript is a programming language, but Nest.js is the framework very similar to Spring Boot that give you many other features which helps you in building your enterprise application, and you can focus on your business logic. You need not to worry about other cross-cutting concerns, right?
This is not rocket science.
Okay, friends. So what we need as a prerequisite is just Node.js version 16 and above. You don't need anything else apart from Node.js to start with Nest.js. Okay. If you want to create a hello world program with Nest.js, then just install Node.js 16 and above and follow this tutorial. You will be able to create your enterprise application in 10 minutes. You will have all the component, all the cross-cutting concerns covered, even if you write hello world application. You can see that logging is there, you can see the security is there, you can see the express is there. You need not to worry about it. It is there out of the box by default. It is production ready. You can deploy it in production. That hello world will work in production with all the capabilities. Okay, friends?
Really?
Okay, friends. So now let's start with the installation and setup of Nest.js. Okay, as we understood what is Nest.js framework and what are prerequisites, let's take a deep dive into the installation and setup. So open a folder as I have created this Nest.js tutorial, lesson 1, Nest.js installation and setup. Open a command prompt at this location. You can create a folder and open a command prompt over there. And then type this command npm i-g at the rate Nest.js CLI. So what it will do is it will install the Nest.js CLI, right? Just hit enter. So it will install the Nest.js for you. So as you see, it is installing the Nest.js. It will download all the dependencies, all the libraries that is required. So it has done. Okay, so installation is done. Now it's time for us to create a project. Okay, how do we create project? So command is nest new bookstore. So I'm creating a project with the name bookstore. Okay, so this is just a dummy project. You can give any name, but the command is nest new bookstore. Let us hit and see what happens. Yes, so it is creating and asking me some of the information. Which package manager would you like to use? Obviously npm, so place enter. I'm going to use npm always. So it is creating all these files. Installation in progress, it says. That means it's creating a full project structure. I'll show you how the project structure look like, what all different files it creates, what their purpose. We'll understand all of that. One of the very good advantage of Nest.js is it's very organized. It has modules, it has controller, it has services, clear role and responsibility defined for all these components. And it sounds and it looks very similar to Spring Boot. Okay, so it is created. Let us see. Let us see the folder, what we have now. So it is created. Bookstore is a project. It is created and all these files are created. Do you see? All these files are created. What I'll do is now I'll open this project into my VS Code and let's see what we have over there. Right, friends? Okay, friends. So now let me open the VS Code and we'll open this project. I'm copying this location. I'm opening this VS Code. This is my VS Code I have opened and open folder, right? I'll say open this folder. Yep, so it has opened my project, all the files. Yes, I'm trusting the source of these files. Okay, so this is a project and it has all these files and folders. So the very first thing that we'll see is the package.json because this is very interesting to see. If you see the dependencies here, dependencies is Nest.js common. It will give us a lot of Nest.js out of the box libraries. Nest.js core, where we have the core features libraries and dependencies, right? So all of that is there included. Platform Express, this is to provide HTTP support. It is built on top of Express framework that we use with Node, right? So this is Platform Express, and yes, so these are the script we have. Start will start dev, start debug, prod, lint, right, and so on. We can start our application through start command, and we say start dev. That means it will tell us what is happening in the background. It will give us a more insight into the compilation and running. Okay, now let's see other files that we have inside the source. Okay, the other files that we have here is, you will see these 5 files always created for you. So main.ts is the entry point for your application. So if you see here in the main.ts, they are using Nest factory. Nest factory.create gives a object of application. And then we are saying app.listen on 3000. So this is a port where our application will run. I'll explain in coming lessons how to import module, how to create dependencies between the modules and components. Then every project have few component like controller, service and module. So always remember in Nest.js, there are 3 primary components. First is controller. Controller is nothing but its routes, okay, where you define all your routes. Like you would have seen the controller in Java Spring Boot, right? We define the routes in controller. This is to receive the incoming request, and then it will pass that request to the service. Now, as I said, Nest.js is all about 3-layer architecture. It is 3-tier architecture. First is controller, that is your presentation layer. Second is business layer, that we call it service layer. Okay, app.service is shown by that. And third is data access layer. Okay, that we'll see later. So now what this controller class does is it takes the request and passes to the service. Okay, if you see that app service, it is initializing here in the constructor itself, calling the method of app service in this get method. Let's see the service. So we have this app service class here, right? And then define one method, get hello. It's just returning hello world string here. So this is the function, and this is the return type of that function. And this function is returning hello world string. And we are calling this function get hello in controller. How this is getting resolved here? Because Nest.js use a concept of inversion of control, that is dependency injection. You would have seen the same concept, exactly same concept in Java Spring Boot as well, where we can inject them, right? So if you see service, here service, we are using this decorator injectable. That means we can inject into other component and use it. There will be a singleton instance running of the service in the whole Nest.js container. Right, friends? These are the very similar concept that you see in Java Spring Boot. We auto-wire it there. It is done like this here. We do constructor injection. We can do property injection also, but here we are doing construction injection. That service is injected here. If we have a data access layer, then we can inject the data access layer in the service layer. But right now, this is just a model. This is just a skeleton of our project. And every project you create will have a similar structure initially. Friends, before we proceed in this video, I request you to subscribe this channel to grow Code One Digest family. Friends, I am creating a lot of quality videos on programming, coding concepts, design pattern and design principles, cloud and container technologies, but I'm not getting subscribers. I request you to like, share and subscribe this channel so that I can grow our Code One Digest family. Thank you. Now let us see the third component, that is module. So module is a very important component in Nest.js. This is a backbone of your application where you stitch all your component. So in module, you will have a array of controller and providers. So let's say you are defining your custom controllers and custom services. They call it providers. Okay. You have to come and register it here. Okay. That means you have to come and add it here in this array. If you define your custom controller, come and add it in this array. If you have a custom provider, then come and add it here in, okay? If you don't do that, then your container would not know that it has to initialize this controller and services. They will not be able to recognize. If you remember, this is a concept coming from Jersey. Okay, in Jersey, we create servlet and we have to register those servlet. Otherwise, those servlet will not come into action. This is the same concept here. You create custom controller, you create your custom providers or service, but you have to come and add that here so that the Nest container know about it. Okay, friends.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Friends, I just shown you these are the 5 main components available in TypeScript. So let me again explain you one by one, right? That we have seen in VS Code, right? The main.ts is the entry file of the application which uses the core function Nest factory to create a Nest application instance. So this is where our application running. It is something similar to public static void main in our Java, right? This is where our application starts. Okay. Now the next major component we have is controller. In Nest.js, we revolve around 3 major components. First is controller, second is service or we call it provider, or third is module. What is controller? The controller is nothing but it's a router, right? That handle your all your routes. It will decide where to route your incoming requests. You can have multiple controllers, right? Based on your endpoints. So the controller will decide where to route the incoming request. So controllers in Nest.js is for the routing purpose. Controller spec is the unit test for the controller. You can write the unit testing for all the scenarios. Then we have app.service.ts. So this service.ts is nothing but your business layer, right? As I said, it's a 3-tier architecture. Nest is a 3-tier architecture where you have presentation layer, you have business layer, and then third is your data access layer. Controller is your presentation layer, service is your business layer, and we will have a data access layer. So service is nothing but your business logic, the basic service with a single method. Now, what is module.ts? So root module of the application, right? So this is the module where we have to register all our components. That is, we have to register all our controllers and services, whatever we define. So this concept is very similar to Jersey. If you define multiple controllers and services, but if you don't register it here, it will not come into action. Okay, friends. So the instance of those component will get created only if it get registered in the module. So as I have shown you in the code, right, how that component is added into the array. Okay. I hope now these 5 modules are now clear with you.
What? I do not understand.
So now what I'll do is I'll show you how to compile and run this application. Okay. Okay, friends. So let me show you one more time the package.json where we have all the scripts. So these are the scripts we have like build, start, start dev, and so on. Okay, friends. So now I have opened a console and I'm in that project bookstore. Let me try to build this project first. So npm run build. So it will build the application because this is one of the command that we have in the script. And this all of these commands are coming out of the box, right? This is created by Nestjs. All these commands are available out of the box by the Nestjs. This is a beauty of Nestjs framework. It gives us all this command to build, to run, to start, and to test. So all of that we can do that here, right? So it is built. We have 2 commands here, npm run start to start the application. And if I just add colon dev, so it will tell us what is happening, right? How our files are compiling and all of that. So let us run this. So we'll see our application is up and running or not. So starting compilation in watch mode, found 0 error. right? And this is where our application started. It says Nest application successfully started. And as I said, right, our application is running on 3000 port. So we'll try to hit and see. Okay, so now let me open a browser and let's hit the 3000 and see what happens. Okay, let me do that. I came to browser, HTTP, localhost 3000, right? Yes, so that means our controller is working absolutely fine.
Wow, that's amazing.
Where is our controller? Yeah, this is our controller. So if you see, we have a get. Okay, this is a default route and it is routing the request to the service hello, and this service is returning hello world. If I change hello world to hello Pavan, so it will work. Let me stop and run this again. Yeah, npm run start. It is starting the application. Yes. Now let us see if our response changes. Yes. So it's printing hello Pavan. That means our controller is working fine. Right, friends? Okay, clear? So now you learn in this tutorial that how to install Nestjs, how to run Nestjs, how the project structure for the Nestjs look like. Every project you create in a Nest framework will have a similar project structure, right? This is the beauty of Nest.js. It gives you a well-organized project structure. You can see, right? Even loggings are coming so organized. You need not to worry about logging and other cross-cutting concerns, right? You can focus on your business logic, on your application. All those things are provided out of the box. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, so do subscribe to my channel to grow Code One Digest family. Friends, you need not to worry about the code. I have already created a Git repository, Nest.js complete tutorial, right? Inside Code One Digest. Okay, this is my Git repository and this is a project I have. So you can clone this repository, okay, from here and download the code and start using it, right, friends? So I will provide the README file, which will have all the commands and instruction to run this application. Okay, so you see the lesson one is there. The the bookstore is there, right? Inside the bookstore, I have all this code available here, right? So we have the README file. Just download the code and play with it. You can download the code and then you can modify as per your requirement and start using it. You need not to start from the scratch also. Friends, if you like this video, so give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for the more interesting videos. Click on the bell icon for the latest video notifications and do not forget to share this video with all your friends and colleagues. This is very useful information for students, beginners and software engineers. I am putting a lot of efforts in creating these contents. So please help me growing the Code One Digest family. Please subscribe to Code One Digest channel for the latest programming and technology related videos. Thank you.